What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. Alrighty, so what we're going to do, we are going to cut test this code 4 in S35vn. Good old S35vn. Literally my most despised powder steel. It's a steel that I really wish would work its way out of the knife community. I just don't like it. It's not a bad steel, but it's a steel that I very much don't like. It just gets slick too quick. It cuts for a while, but it just gets slick. All right, so code 4 S35vn. Alrighty, so there we go. Let's mark us off about 1 1/8 of blade. So what we're going to be doing, we'll start cutting right there. Okay. So we're going to go from about right there to about right there. Remember, I mark it off, but we really don't need to because we're really only cutting in the belly. So I'm definitely not even utilizing that whole area that I'm marking off. You know, like we're not using that much. We're probably using more like 3/4 of an inch. Where the wear is focused is probably more like 3/4 of an inch of area. Alrighty, so we got our test medium here. Show y'all where this edge is. Nice aggressive toothy edge. Nice aggressive toothy edge. Yep. If I would, if you run this test with this steel polished, it would cut terrible. That bad boy would be slicker than owl shit in 5 cuts. So we have a nice aggressive Atoma 600 finish on here. This time, hopefully, I can. Hey, it's only three minutes, and I'm starting, not 7. Bucky, fucky, ducky, you ready? Yeah, that son of a bitch is always ready. My buddy Aaron said Bucky sold him some fent. I said he's a devious little bastard. Cyclopto, he's a good dude though. He definitely ain't selling nobody no fent. All right, so let's do it. Standard cut test. Do 10 cuts, check the edge. 10 cuts, check the edge. As soon as it starts to tear paper, we're done. One thing about it, this 600 grit edge, 600 Atoma edge is going to cut through this rope like crazy. Oh yeah. Now that's what you call a rope cutting edge right there. Man, that is a nice cutting edge. Ooh, buddy. Where's my pin at? that is a really, really exceptionally good cutting edge. So right now, what I believe BD1M has the most cut so far. Yeah, at what, 110. Like I told y'all, BD1N, it performs about like S30, S35vn as far as edge retention. So I'm expecting this to be very close. Question is, can it go that length of time without getting slick, or so slick that it don't want to cut? That's the problem with S35vn. It's not the outright edge retention. It's not the outright edge retention. It's the going slick. That's S35vn's problem, much like S45vn. There are two steels. S30V is very much the opposite, and that's why I love that steel. S35vn, S45vn, they just get too damn slick too quickly. Beautiful. Beautiful. Still got lots of bite. No glinting. Perfect. I'm really thinking about going to 3/4 inch rope to really accelerate the wear on these bad boys. I may do, your budget steels, do it with 1/2 inch. But, when I'm moving up into Maximet, 15D, 10D, K390, etc., that's a lot of cuts. So I'm thinking about going to 3/4 or 1 inch to really, really accelerate the wear to cut down on the amount of cuts that I have to do. Now, that really wouldn't be fair for your lower alloy steels and your budget steels. So we'll stay on 1/2 inch for those, but beautiful. Remember, this is a very toothy edge, so if it grabs a paper a little bit from tooth, we're not going to count that against it, of course. It's got to grab and tear the paper from edge damage. Still cutting beautifully. Okay. I actually believe with this edge finish that it's actually going to outcut the BD1N. Not by much, but I believe it'll outcut it a little bit. And cold steel does S35 really well. Yeah, that's very, very nice. Edge hasn't degraded at all. Lots of bite. No catches whatsoever. I'm happy right now. Cold Steel is the, like, I really won't buy S35vn from anybody except Cold Steel. Even my S35vn native from Spyderco, it's just Cold Steel does a better job than they did, and I'm really glad that Spyderco doesn't work with that steel. They really didn't put much out in it, and I'm glad they didn't. They knew it. They knew it wasn't a very good high performance steel. That's why they only made a few runs of it and they stopped working with it. But Cold Steel, they as far as production knives go, they do the best by a long shot. Whoever's doing these blades, whoever's doing the heat treating of this stuff in Taiwan is really, really doing a good job. Still cutting great. Is that 50? Yeah. Looking good. See, no, that was me. That wasn't the blade. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, we're looking good. Looking good. No glint. $50 cuts. $60. Looking good. No catches. No, see, that's not, that's just a tooth. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No glint. And maybe a teeny little spot right there. Yeah, maybe we're getting a little bit right here. If y'all can see that, about right here. Itty bitty little spot. Bite's starting to fall off a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Notice I'm having to make more strokes to get through the rope. I can feel the bite starting to fall off. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Grab a piece of paper. Okay. So we're at what, 70? Yeah, 70. I can see a teeny bit of glinting right there. See it? The itty bitty bit. Still sharp. Still cutting nice. The bite is starting to fall off though. No doubt about it. But it's plenty sharp still. Good. Yeah, we're good. Whew. I don't know about y'all, but insomnia is kicking my ass tonight. 2 o'clock. I got to be up at 5. Ain't even thought about sleeping. 2:11. I got a long day tomorrow too. Well, today. Good old Friday. Yeah, probably wind up at the office 14 hours. Yeah. Payroll, whole bunch of crap. Typical Friday bullshit. Getting really slick, starting to really slick off. Wow. Like in 5 cuts just then, it went from not overly slick to I could really feel it slicking off in the last 2 cuts just then. And that's typical S35vn behavior. Oh my God, I can't speak. Typical S35vn behavior. Yeah, see, still easily. Oh, now that might be a catch there, guys. No, that's just that tooth of the edge. Because catching back here, I'm doing most of the cutting up here. It's just catching on some of that tooth of the edge. Still sharp. But I am starting to feel a little bit of a I'm definitely starting to feel the edge starting to want to roll a little bit. I definitely see some glinting right here. Yeah, how many cuts is that? 20, 40, 60. That's 90 cuts. Man, I think it's going to be almost dead nuts with BD1N. Because it's starting to give up. Um, yeah, it's got a little bit more in it. See the glint? Right out here. See it? Oh, hold on. Yeah. It's definitely getting slick, but still cutting pretty good. If I recall, with the BD1N, it still was cutting great at the end when I had to call the test. I believe this is going to be pretty much a similar situation. Let me get, that might be it. I figured it would go a little longer, but yeah, we're good. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Man, it's hard to tell actually. Yeah, see, that's good. That didn't quite. This is a hard one to call right here. Yeah, this one's really difficult to call actually. Make a few more cuts and. Yeah, it's still got more in it. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. See, it's still cutting great, but don't have a lot of bite, but still cutting great. It's still cutting really good. Yeah, it's still good. Yeah, no tears. Looking good. Yeah, we're still good. Okay, cold steel. Now I will say, it still feels very sharp. Like I feel the bite stops about right here. So I got bite, 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 and then when it right there, nope, no more bite. See, but it's still sharp. It's not blunting yet. It's still pretty decent. Would still easily slice printer paper, easily. It is pretty slick, I will say that. And I can feel it. It's starting to not want to cut as good now. Damn. Starting to tire the hands up. You can't go much more. You cannot go much more. Okay, yeah, you see there's up here, I've seen a pretty good, see that glint? It's not bad. It's not bad. It's there, but it's not bad, and it's still, that's still a plenty sharp edge. Yeah, I said, like, I don't mind buying, look at that. I don't mind buying cold steel S35vn, even though I won't buy it from anybody else. Because it just don't, now in kitchen knives, I kind of like S35vn, but only in kitchen knives. In pocket knives, I don't really like it, except for S35V. I mean, cold steel. They have it dialed in. Yeah, that's legit. That's legit. It's slick. It is slick, but still cutting. So I tell people all the time, you know, avoid S35DM from China. Let me go bump the AC on. Oh, it's getting hot. Man, it is slick. Yeah, it's starting to not cut very well now. Yep, there we go. I think that's a legit one. I do believe that's it. Or not. Yeah, that's it. I feel it catching and skip, but I don't know, man. This is a hard one to call. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Fantastic job, Cold Steel. Fantastic job. This steel actually held bite for a lot longer. I mean, I know it will because it's Cold Steel and I've used their S35vn a lot. But you know, like say you use some China S35vn and you know, it just goes slick so quick. Like I would expect 40 cuts and it's gonna be getting super slick on you. Maybe even 30 cuts and it'd be getting slick. And but look at that. Cold Steel took S35vn, a steel that just gets slick by nature, and did how many freaking cuts? 140. Impressive. Impressive. And that's still plenty sharp. That is not a dull edge by any means. It's just slick. It's slick, but it's plenty sharp. Like this knife does not even need to be sharpened. This is a perfectly usable edge right now. Like it's grabbing my finger, no problem. It probably won't quite grab the fingernail. Almost. Actually, yeah, it is. There's a little spot right there where it's slipping, but it's almost, we'll say this, it's almost grabbing the nail. Yeah, it is slipping, but it's almost grabbing the nail. That's still a perfectly usable edge. Like if I was cleaning, you know, a whitetail or an elk, I wouldn't, this edge is, if the edge was at this condition, I'm good to go. I don't need to touch up. I did not expect it to do that good. I expected it to be very, very close to the BD1N. In fact, to be completely honest, I expected it to be between 100 and 110. I expected it to be almost identical. But I expected it to be so slick by that 100 to 110 that it just wasn't cutting. Like it's slick. It is definitely slick. But look. Like it's slick, but it's not that slick. Like it's not to where it's skating across the rope. It's still digging in and cutting. I'm impressed. I do feel a little bit of apex deviation, meaning here's the apex, I feel a little bit of this. Not much, but a little bit. Like I can clearly feel that the edge is kind of turned this way slightly. Well, the apex, I mean. Yeah. So there is some, that steel got pretty fatigued enough that it's deviating slightly. Yeah, it's just a tip of that apex kind of bending basically. And not it's being fatigued enough that it can't take itself back to straight. You understand what I'm saying? Every time you cut and you hit that table, it's kind of doing one of these numbers on a microscopic level. And the more it fatigues, the less it can come back to where it was. You understand what I mean? So it's like that right now. Like here, it's kind of like that, ever so slightly, not rolled, but the apex is deviated slightly. That's something you never hear people talk about. You don't hear people talk about that, but as knives dull, that is one of the parts of it, that apex can kind of move, just as this has. So let's see how nicely it'll strut back. I fully expect it'll come right back. Just hit it on some 5 micron. Some very aggressive 5 micron. It really bites into that blade. Super high concentration stuff, and it really, really, really cuts. And we'll finish it on a couple passes on 3. That should be easily, that should be back to shaving, no problem. Beautiful. Beautiful. Back to push cutting. Now that is one thing that I will give S35vn. It does strop back well, but it strops back slicker and slicker and slicker. So you have that, but it will come back to shaving very, very easily. Oh yeah, easy hair popping. I'll tell you, can y'all see that? I ain't got no freaking hair on my arms anymore. I'm gonna have to start letting one arm grow hair on it, and then use that arm, let the other arm recover. So I've got hair to check the edges. I'll tell you though, Laceys Emulsion, like that high concentration 5 micron, that stuff is amazing. Like it'll bring back edges that you won't believe. Like they're so far gone that you're like, there's no way stropping can bring that edge back. That high concentration 5 or 9 micron will bring it back so easily. And because it's, especially like if you go with the 9 high concentration 9, I guess the diamond particles are large enough that it actually will cut some fresh micro serrations. So if the edge is very dull and slick, and you say you went 9 and 5, that 9 will actually bring a little bit of bite back into the edge, and it won't just further get slicker and slicker. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, basically, instead of the edge each time you strop it back, it getting slicker and slicker. If you go out like that 9 micron, because it's so aggressive, it cuts fresh micro serrations in the edge, bringing back some of the bite and keeping it from getting slicker. In fact, it'll actually bring some of the bite back. Instead of each time you use it, each time you strop, the knife getting slicker, you can actually bring some of that bite back. And normally you have to go to a hone to do that, or to the stones. But like that 9 micron, or actually, what do I have on this one? I'll show you real quick. I've got high concentration 7.5 right here. Watch this. Listen to where the edge is at. All right, I'm gonna put you up close to the microphone. You hear that? All right, now listen, watch. Now listen. Can you hear the bite come back? You hear it? Exactly. Now hop over to the 5. Make a couple passes. Now we'll go to the 1/4 micron, make 1 pass. Now that edge has got plenty of bite now. It brought the bite. I guarantee you the bite brought back. I should have did it with this strop that's got 9 and 12 on it. But you can hear you got bite again. You got tooth. But yet it's still push cutting sharp. But you got some bite back. Now watch. It'll bite into that rope. Look at that. And that is why going with those larger micron, high concentration emulsions can extend your time in between sharpenings massively. And you not end up with, after a couple strop backs, a super slick edge. But rather, you can maintain an edge that has lots of bite. Oh yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Now, of course, back here where I was, that's 600 grit edge. So yeah, there's definitely more bite back here, but there's still good bite right here. Oh yeah, telling you, man. Some of that high concentration 9 and high concentration 5 from Laceys, 4 thumbs up. It's badass stuff. It seriously is. If you like your edges to have bite, that stuff's amazing. There you go. Beautimous. All right, guys. 140 is the number. Cold Steel Taiwan S35vn. Thank y'all for spending the last 45 minutes with me, 46 minutes with me, and have a good day.